Let's talk about the new game Super Mario Auction.
The new game Super Mario Auction?
Yeah.
So there was a private, this was a private sale. It's actually not an auction. One of the misnomers about this. So a sticker sealed Super Mario Brothers for the NES, which was it was a test market version, which means for the first, you want to say 6 months or so, 5 months when the games were out, you can only get them sticker sealed, the black box games, which is a circular seal in the back. When you first bought your NES, like that set has a sticker sealed, not sealed anymore, Gyromite and Duck Hunt. That Gyromite was open once anyway. So these are harder to find in that condition. You can find a boxed Super Mario Brothers that was used to be a sticker sealed game. I probably have one somewhere, but that's not the point. The point is it's so hard to find a sticker sealed Super Mario Brothers that's still sealed, that has never been opened. It's a virgin game.
Yeah, and I mean over time stickers, wear out. They lose some of their adhesive and stuff like that.
The NES ones actually are pretty good still. They're pretty solid. There's a pretty solid sticker on there, at least from the ones I've seen. If they haven't been brought up. So anyway, so there was a private sale that happens in February. I think the actual date of sale was February 6th, and it went for $100,000 for a sealed, sticker sealed, graded by Wada, who we've talked about in the show before, Super Mario Brothers on the NES, and it went for $100,500. I guess the $500 is probably just like the extra cost involved. I just think it's funny.
It's the one thing I read said 100,150.
Oh, 150. I'm sorry. Yeah, 150.
I feel like I personally felt like the 150 was there just to say it was over $100,000.
Well, it's over $100,000 if you give them $1.
Sure.
But so what was interesting about this is that this potentially becomes the biggest deal we know about for a video game.
Yeah.
In terms of price, this is more than those weird Neo Geo games that there's like 5 of that they came out of different territory. It's more than a gold NWC. My sources told me there might have been a gold NWC sell for around $80,000. I don't doubt that because I've been offered around that amount for mine, so that probably happened. So that probably was the mark before this that we know about. Like we had the $30,000 Seal Super Mario Brothers a couple of years ago, but that wasn't the first print run. That was like a second print run, I believe. So that's the difference here. And you can get a third or whatever print run with the regular cellophane seal. They don't cost that much. That you can get them for under $1,000. I think I saw one at a auction. Excuse me, at a convention a year or two ago for like $400.
I was going to say those are a sealed mass.
Yeah, a one from like 87 or so, 88. That's not going to run you a huge amount of money sealed for it. It's the sticker sealed one that now we're talking.
Buco bucks.
Yeah, buco butts. Buco butts?
Buco butts.
So it's an interesting auction because of who bought this. That's the thing. So this is who bought it. Rich Lecce, Zach Gieg, Gieg, and then Jim Halperin. So what's interesting about this is that Jim Halperin was the founder and he's a co-chairman
of Heritage Auctions. Why does this seem like a conflict of interest to me?
So Heritage Auctions has been, starting this year, has been auctioning off WADA graded games. So this is where it gets weird because you don't know how much of this three-way deal, which is not common in video games at all.
No, that's like when you're a kid and you're like, we'll buy this toy and we can just switch off every week.
This is once you start getting into multiple people buying a collectible, it no longer becomes, the standard, I'm a collector, I'm going to show this off. There's now ulterior motives involved. I'm not saying these are evil motives, but there's going to be motives involved. So to me, I'm going to treat this as an investor group. Because that's when it comes to collectibles, a market like this, it's an investor group. Because you can't collect, like if I shared a game with Ian and someone else saying Norm, it doesn't really work out. You're not really getting the same experience having it, and owning it, and sharing it.
No, you're gonna fight.
It's like Norm pointed this out. I think he was on the Twitter moment. It's that episode of The Simpsons when they all buy the Radioactive Man.
Oh yeah, I saw someone post that picture. It must have been Norm.
Oh, it was Milhouse and what? It was Nelson.
Yeah.
They team up, they buy it, and then they end up ripping it apart. Right? It's a classic episode.
Yeah.
The #1 issue. Right. That's what I remember. I remember watching that when it came out because I was a comic book guy. And I was like, oh, that's pretty funny. Or a comic book kid. So I was probably like 10 when that episode came out. But there's a lot of ins, a lot of outs to this story. There's a lot here to talk about. So this deal did happen. And I know this because I got emails from 2 different individuals when it comes to this. But what was funny is that when I saw the name Rich Lecce, I was like, that name sounds familiar. So Rich Lecce emailed me a week before this deal went down. January 31st, I got an email from Rich Lecce thanking Ian and I for our open-mindedness when it came to WADA and graded games. And at the time, I thought that was strange to get a random email like that.
Yeah.
And then we went back and forth a little bit, and it started from being an email where it was like, "Oh yeah, Pat, thanks for doing this." And then he said a couple things I disagree with. One notably being that I'm not going to say it, verbatim because for the email conversation was private. I will just give you the highlights about it. But one of the points he was making was that people don't like graded games because they won't be able to afford them because the value will go up. And that to me is so false on its face.
Yeah,
that's not something that I ever said. He said that's the only reason people can be against graded games too. And I'm like, that's not true.
No, it's not.
Because I can go out right now and buy some graded games for thousands of dollars. I have no reason to do so. I don't want to.
I have never thought of the increased price being a reason why I don't like graded games.
And when you go to a convention, and this is why sealed game collecting is not video game collecting to me.
That is such a weird attitude. It's such a weird thing to say.
It's a little, I hate to say narcissistic, but it's a little more elitist.
Yeah,
saying,
it's
like,
very
this is my
elitist.
hobby, and people don't like it because the prices are going up. But sealed game collecting is not video game collecting to me.
No.
It's something totally different. And some of the people on Nintendo Age I used to get into arguments about agree with me. Because first off, these people here, like for example, Rich, he comes from like coin collecting world.
Yeah, he has a coin collecting store in, I think it's Florida.
And other people that get into sealed game collecting, a lot of them came from toys because they're used to getting their toys graded from the same company that that does VGA.
They mentioned this in the press release.
You're saying there was a press release?
Oh yeah, there was a press release
by Heritage Auctions,
which makes it real weird.
Where Jim Halperin works.
Yeah. Like I said,
what a
seems
surprise!
Like a conflict of interest.
Well,
but...
yes, this was by and large for marketing purposes. It was, I think, for it's hard when there's 3 people involved in an investment like this. It's hard to know what each individual person's motives were. But I did follow up with Jim's, with Rich Lecce some questions about could this purchase have been made without Jim's involvement? And he said yes, straight out. So once I hear that, then okay, then we know how this is going to be used. This game purchase, they're gonna probably
say, look at this price.
Essentially, they're gonna say, look at this price. This is what these games are going to be worth in the future, and go up from here. But also, they're going to use it as a marketing tool. They're going to probably have it at conventions. I'm not saying you shouldn't do this. You can't bring it to a convention and show it off because WADA goes to some of these conventions, or maybe Heritage Auctions will bring it to Comic-Con.
WADA usually has like a display of certain sealed graded games.
But Heritage Auctions, like I said, when they went to Comic-Con 2 years ago, they had, or 3 years ago, they had graded games there, but no one cared. I saw some graded games here and there with some people. Man, it wasn't Heritage, but now they're going to bring it. They'll definitely bring it this year because they want to tap into people that collect coins. They want to tap into toy collectors, which a lot of people from toy collecting came into graded games. They want a whole new avenue of revenue from auctioning off these games.
Right. By going to Heritage, basically, it's not enhancing. It's not necessarily. This isn't necessarily enhancing video game collecting. This is enhancing video game collecting for other people.
Yes.
To make it look more attractive. It has.
It doesn't. This.
I don't. It's not that I don't think the game could be worth that.
Sure.
It's that with it being a private sale and all that, I feel like the price, because they bought it for Heritage, it's murky. I feel like maybe
no, this deal. I no doubt this deal actually happened.
no. I'm not saying the deal didn't happen.
But you're saying with all the other external factors, it brings into question other things.
Yeah, perhaps perhaps a little bit more was paid for it than was necessary, or something along those lines.
Well, sure, because if this went on an open auction on Heritage, would it have gotten to $100,000?
Who knows? It may have. Like I said, I'm not really questioning the fact that it's worth a lot, but maybe even the fact that it is. It's very much something that Heritage can point to and be like, hey, other collectors who are into big money, this is what this went for.
Sure.
But that would be fine, except for the fact that the involvement of Jim Halpern.
The involvement of Heritage Auctions, let's call it a spade.
Yeah.
Heritage Auctions is involved with this purchase because they're using it as marketing.
There you go. That's as simple as you can put it.
So when you get
Which is fine as well, but it's
fine,
just,
but it is what it is. And that was the only thing that when all the coverage I saw, people should have been spotlighting that, and they weren't. They were like, well, by the way, it might be used for Heritage. The strongest I ever saw reporting was like, oh, there could be some publicity out of this. Some publicity. It was a goddamn Twitter moment because of this sale, because they put this on Front Street. So I don't believe in coincidences. So the email I got from Rich a week before the sale was finalized was trying to, I don't want to say butter us up, but to let us know that, hey, this is going to be the new norm, and I'm glad you guys are cool with this. And it's like, come on, man. That's a part where I don't. That deal was going forward when he emailed me.
I'm cool with the concept of WADA. I've talked to Dennis about it. I am. That doesn't really change necessarily. I think there's finally
Heritage versus WADA are two different conversations.
No, I know. I'm just saying. I'm talking sealed game collecting.
Yes.
To begin with, and him, because what I'm getting at is he assumed that because we are pro WADA that we are pro video game collecting. I guess I can.
Oh, we are pro video game collecting, but grading games.
Yes, I can like a group of people or a company that is doing grading and thinking they're doing grading the right way, and still not totally be into the sealed collecting, I guess.
Sure.
It's weird that he would just assume one over the because of the other.
What's important to remember is that with the rise of they want more people to buy this. Yeah, look what they have on when you go to certified video games on Heritage Auctions. You already see a Photoshop picture of the Super Mario Brothers.
Oh wow!
There.
Okay, yeah.
So I mean, they're using it for marketing and to get the word out there. I mean, that's apparent.
And who better to do it with than Mario?
Yes. So when you go on, but what's interesting is that when you start looking at some of the games they're auctioning off, you're seeing a weird variety of different things. You're seeing like, okay, we got a Chrono Trigger that'll go for a lot, or Dracula X. The Athletic World, that was a pack-in. That's that they're graded. That wasn't that was a sticker seal. Then there's like the
Which one was
the Athletic World, the Family Fun Fitness version. And then you have like a Dragon Warrior prototypes on there right now. You have a Mega Man 2. Then you have like a Halo for Xbox that someone is bidding $4,000 on for not for a resale version. Okay. So I was going to say,
I think we have some of those at work.
I was going to say, Ian's in the money. He's in the money. So there's going to be a surge of people that are now attempting to get into this from other, like I said, other fields of collecting, which is fine. But I think that's where the story is going to end on this. I think what you're doing is you're bringing people that are currently buying collectibles to buy new collectibles in another field. The common man's not going to get into this. The common video game collectors can't afford this. This is the top 1% of game collectors that can even afford this to get into this. But even then, you're not going to have a lot of people get into it.
Sure,
you're just not because it's going to be.
That doesn't mean that people dislike sealed grading because we don't have money.
No, but I want to see where these prices are at 6 months. First of all, I want to see where these prices were before and after the Super Mario Brothers was announced. But I want to see where these prices are at 6 months from now when this fervor dies down. And because there's some games on here that it's like, oh yeah, maybe there's a sealed Lolo on here. Okay, you have some people interested in that. But these all aren't going to be games that 20 years from now you're able to buy a house with. Or even buy a car with. A lot of these sealed games are going to be traded within the same group of people. I don't see these being like pieces of art where yeah, you can sell them for millions of dollars because they're like one of a kind, two of a kind. And yes, a sealed Super Mario Brothers sticker sealed right now is one of a kind, but you can still get a Super Mario Brothers cart or box version so easily. It doesn't have a huge amount of value. So that sealed Akari Warriors out there that you're going to be spending potentially $400 on, that's going to sit there forever. I think. I don't think there's ever going to be a point in time 20 years from now where people are going to see like, hey, that's sealed Akari Warriors. That's going to be a collectible that I want. You know, that's going to be like a store of value that I'm going to put in my vault and sell for $20,000 in the future. And I think that's the gambit that part of this deal, which is what I don't like, is because at the end of the day, a lot of the people getting into this are going to be held with the bag of all these sealed games that are graded, and then they're going to lose. They're going to lose their value, or not retain it. And then who's going to win? Heritage is going to win because they get their cut no matter what. They get their auction percentage no matter what. And WATA gets a lot more business when people are like, oh my God, there's more people doing this. So they're the big winners here when it comes to this sale. I don't see this being a market that, you know, 30 years from now people are going to be, oh my God, you know, I want to get a sealed you know, Dracula X. I just don't.
We'll see. I'm not. And we've discussed this. I'm not on the same page as you. I might lean more towards you, but I do think video games have some sort of staying power. I mean, people probably didn't think comics were going to have staying power.
I never said they didn't, but there are only very, very few games that both have some sort of cultural gaming significance and are such low quantities that will push up into a six-figure value over time.
Sure.
There's not enough of them because a game like, even in the articles I'm seeing, like games like Steam events are like, who cares? Like that's not going to be the game people are going to care about, which I always said before as well. It's like Super Mario Brothers. Yes, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I think there will be a few games that will be able to hold that value.
A few,
maybe go upwards, but not all entirely. No.
But not
once the I mean,
not a sealed Addams Family.
It's time. No, absolutely not a sealed Addams Family. As time goes on. The collecting, you know, the retro collecting boom keeps shifting with generations as we get older. At some point, we'll be far enough removed, I think, from some of these systems that, yeah, you know, I don't know what someone would pay for a sealed Addams Family, but in 20 years,
find someone that even would want it.
Yeah.
Or like when I see stuff on here, like this is again, this is where the money's coming in, because people are going to be like, oh, I want to get my Wolverine Adamantium Rage Genesis sealed game graded and up for sale. It's like, okay, there might be some people that'll buy that in the future, or, you know, you think it's gonna be an investment. Okay, how big is that pool going to be of people that are going to come back and spend hundreds of dollars on that in the future?
See, there are stupid games that I would, you know, maybe get a boxed copy of and grade just because I like them and I like the cover art, but it's not for a collecting or investment.
But that's
purpose.
that's what Heritage is, though.
Yes, no, I know.
Heritage, by and large, yes, it's to get people in collectors' hands, but a lot of it's investment.
My question is, who's going to be the first person to get a sealed graded set?
A sealed graded set of Jesus Christ!
You can't tell me that someone out there is not buying for it already.
The amount to grade one game, what is that? Is it there's a minimum? If it's like comics, they actually charge you a percentage of what the game, what it's worth. The comic, holy shit, that would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars to get
There's someone out there.
Every game graded in a WATA case or any case. I don't know if WATA grades like that. I'm just saying that's what they do for some of the comics. They grade. Oh, if you give someone a $100,000 comic to grade, you're paying a percentage.
Right.
It's not the same cost as grading a comic from 1998.
I'm not saying it'll happen, but I just feel like there's got to be at least one person, if not a few, out there who are currently thinking about it.
Okay, that's fine. They can start by buying their sealed copy of Mad Max. It's at $1 right now. I don't think anyone's bid on it yet, so they can get their 9.4 Mad Max. So yeah, it's a cool thing for video games, but I don't think this means all of a sudden every other NES game or any other game is going to be worth six figures. It's just not. There's just not enough games out there with cultural significance and enough staying power that people 10, 15 years from now will still want to rebuy. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You know,
the term staying power, I used to think it was stain power.
Stain power?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not talking about, I'm going into your laundry stories there. That's for sure.